Hi, I'm Jeanique and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing 10 of my favorite Valentine's Day fragrances at different price points for anybody looking to add a flirty, sexy, alluring fragrance to their collection. On this channel, I do fragrance reviews, hauls, tips, tricks, and reaction videos. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, I hope you subscribe, hit the notification bell button, and please keep coming back for more. So to start off, I want to talk about Roberto Cavalli EDP. This is an ambery vanilla and absolutely one of my favorite fragrances overall, and is also a great date night fragrance because of that sweet, warm, soothing vanilla, but also that sort of resinous energy it gives because of all the amber that's in here. It is a little bit syrupy, it's a little bit thick, it's a little bit sweet, and it is one of the coziest vanillas you will find. It has a little bit of an edge to it, a little bit of depth, and all of those things come together to create a fragrance that is warm, alluring, and incredibly sexy. Now, you can usually find this fragrance for under $50 on discount websites. The longevity on this is fantastic. It will last you a good 8 hours. The projection is incredible. You don't want to overspray because it can be a lot, but this fragrance is just a wonderful addition to any date night rotation because it is so comforting and it is so lovely. The second fragrance I want to talk about is Ariana Grande Cloud Intense. Now, I know this is a favorite among a lot of people, but if you haven't discovered this one yet, or Ariana Grande fragrances in general, I really do recommend you check them out. You can usually find Ariana Grande fragrances, like most celebrity fragrances, under $50, and this is a wonderful addition to any fragrance collection. As far as date night goes, this is a great one because it does combine gourmand elements like praline and whipped cream with fruit elements like coconut that offer that creaminess, but it also has musk, cashmere, and ambroxan to give the fragrance a little bit of a depth and punch. It isn't basic in any way possible. It does project, it does last on the skin, and it does smell incredibly seductive and sexy. The price point is wonderful. If you want to avoid musk and it's just not your vibe, you can go for the regular Cloud, which doesn't have all of that musk and creaminess in it. It's a little bit fresher, a little bit brighter because of that lavender. But I do prefer this for date night specifically because it just wants to get someone close to you. It invites that cuddling and that hugging that is so wonderful for date nights and for Valentine's Day. So for the price, it's readily available, and for all that it gives, I would say this is my number 2 pick for the under 50 category. The third fragrance in this category that I want to talk about is LaSaab's Shine. No. This is a wonderful, bright, flirty, tropical fragrance. There is nothing not to love about this. You can usually find this for about $40 on discount websites, and anything in the Girl of Now line is pretty bright, fresh, fun, flirty, and youthful. This one is one of my favorites because of those tropical elements. I'll have the notes listed on the screen, but just know that if you love a sweeter fragrance that is brighter, more inviting, if you plan to be outside where it's a little bit chillier, this will perform really well because it does pierce through because of all of that wonderful sweetness. It does not have the musk and some of those darker elements that the previous 2 fragrances has. So if you are looking for something just with a little bit less punch, a little bit more restraint, leaning more to fruit and sweetness, this is one that does that. Also, the bottle is incredibly cute. Look at that. It's just so pretty. The color of the juice is really nice. It's a wonderful addition. It does not get enough shine. I mean, even with the name, it does not get enough shine. And I just wanted to put this out there that this is a wonderful addition. If you see this on sale, it's selling for $30, $40. It is more than worth that price. Fantastic date night fragrance if you are looking for one. So if you're looking to spend a little bit more, between $50 and $100, I got you. I have 3 fragrances here that I think make for really fantastic date night fragrances. First up, I want to talk about Oscar de la Renta's Bella Essence. Now look at that beautiful, stunning bottle. Now I purchased this one from one of the discount websites for about $60 or so, but it's also sold at the Bay and is very often on sale. There's also Bella Blanca, but I want to talk about this one because I think it is a sexier fragrance. Now what is going on in this one? So in this fragrance, we have a lot of sweeter fruit like raspberry and blackcurrant, and we also have jasmine and musk to balance it out. It is a sweet fruit meets musk kind of combination that's very classic, but this one doesn't skew too sweet. It is a really balanced, really lovely fragrance. I don't understand why this is not more popular. The floral version of this Bella Blanca is definitely way more popular, and there's a Bella Rose that is also more popular, but this is my favorite of that line. If you're looking for something that is sweet and potent but not too sweet, because that jasmine offers a little bit of greenness, a little bit of balance to that sweet raspberry, this is a fantastic fragrance at an incredibly affordable price. So if you see this, check it out. One thing you might know if you shop at the Bay a little bit too much is that Michel Germain fragrances are often on sale, and I got this one 60% off for about $50 at the Bay over the Christmas break, and it is Sexual Fleur by Michel Germain, one of the flirtiest fragrances I have in my collection. The fragrance gives what the bottle gives, this kind of bright pink effervescence. It is wonderful. It reads and skews a little bit more youthful, but we all want to be in our, like, I don't know, early 20s phase of life because it is a fun era for most of us. This fragrance is bright, it's pretty, it's fun. It is daisies and grapefruit. That bite, that citrus at the opening is wonderful. There is freesia in this, and there is also vanilla musk benzoin in the base. It is a lovely fragrance. It is a lovely fragrance. The white floral elements help to, I don't know, make the fragrance slightly more sophisticated to balance some of that sweet grapefruit, but overall the fragrance is a wonderful, fun, flirty, bright fragrance that's great for a first date because it does skew a little bit sweet, but it does dry down to give this more sophisticated element. The third fragrance for under $100 that I want to talk about is Prada Candy Florale. Now I know I'm a little basic for loving the Prada Candy line as much as I do, but I think very many of the flankers are a little bit underrated, and Prada Candy Florale is one of them. In the opening we have limoncello, so it's a little candy-like, you know, I see what they did there. It's a little candy-like, but there's a tartness and a sharpness to it that is bright and fresh. In the mid, all there is peony. Just a beautiful soft floral note that is so appealing, so alluring, and so ultra feminine. In the base, we have the typical Prada Candy DNA of honey, caramel, musk, brought together with the limoncello and the peony, creates this really lovely fragrance that sort of smells the way this bottle looks, just pink and bright and effervescent and pretty, but not too juvenile. One of my absolute favorites. Now, in the $100 to $150 range, I want to start off with a classic that sometimes get overlooked because it's been out for such a long time. But if you haven't tried this yet, I want to talk to you a little bit about this very iconic bottle and this very iconic fragrance, and that is Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Now, I've heard this described as a club fragrance, a pretty basic fragrance. I think because so many people have loved this for such a long time, they forget how wonderful it is. In the opening, you have things like bergamot and coffee, just really fantastic opening notes. One of my favorite florals is in the mid tuberose. You can smell the creamy, angelic element elements of the tuberose, and in the base you have so many wonderful gourmand elements like praline and tonka bean and vanilla. They all come together to create a fragrance that is mildly powdery and fruity and floral, to create this really feminine, really girly, really special smell. Yes, a lot of people out here have this fragrance and have tried it and do love it, but there is a reason for that, because it is a predictably beautiful fragrance that both men and women just absolutely adore. This is one of my favorite date night fragrances because without exception, I will be told that I smell phenomenal, because I do. I do. I think the only people who snark on this one are people who have extensive fragrance collections, have tried a bunch of things, and are maybe over it because everybody sort of smells like this. I think that's not enough of an excuse for me to discount how wonderful this is. If you're looking for a fragrance that works both day and night, is going to make you feel fabulous at work but also at play, I think this is one of the easiest fragrance buys out there, especially for newbies. If you want to smell like candy, you want to be like, cover me in sugar, baby, just really sweet, unapologetically sweet, there's only one choice here, and it's Mugler's Angel Nova. Now, I want to think that with all of the super sweet fragrances in my collection, things like Prada Candy, I like to pair with things like musk or amber to sort of scale back some of the sweetness and help to balance it out on my skin. But there is one sweet fragrance that I want full blast on me when I wear it, and it is this one. So what's in here? It's raspberry, it's lychee, rose, woods, and benzoin to create this really unapologetically fruity fragrance that is more fruit leaning than rose. The rose is playing just in the backdrop. It's a supporting character in this fragrance. It's the raspberry, the lychee, and the woods together to create this really sweet, but on the backside of it, really woody fragrance together that is so incredibly sexy. It's a wonderful fragrance. Last fragrance in the $100 to $150 category is the one I would say I wear most often, the one I'm most excited to wear this month. It was not on my fragrance tray last month, but it is on my fragrance tray this month, and I plan to make good use of it, and it's this one. Look at it. It's beautiful. It is the cherry loving, cherry delicious fragrance of Jimmy Choo I Want You Forever. One of my favorite cherry fragrance, point blank period, but also one of my favorite date night fragrances. It is so compliment getting and complimentary to anybody's skin. It is a wonderful accessory. So let's talk about what's in here. It's bitter almond, it's rose, it's sour cherry, vanilla, tonka bean, musk, oak moss. It's all of these wonderful elements come together. There is a little bit of greenness from the oak moss and the vetiver. There is this real musky element to it. The sour cherry just offers a whole lot of bite and wonderfulness. The vanilla is creamy and smooths everything out, and the rose just elevates it and makes it more sophisticated. If the Mugler Angel Nova is a little bit more juvenile and youthful and fun, this is a grown kind of sexy, a confident sexy in a bottle, and it is one of my favorite to wear when I'm out in the streets. It is such a compliment getter. Just like the original I Want You is a compliment getter in the daytime, this is one of the best compliment getters for the nighttime. I have one fragrance over the $150 mark, but I also think it's worth mentioning because this is also a huge compliment getter, a huge, just wonderful fragrance for date nights out, and it's Angel Share by Killian. I feel like this is an obvious choice. It is boozy, sweet, apple, cinnamony, vanilla all together to create this really gourmand fragrance that makes you smell like the snack you are. It is such a wonderful fragrance. It's usually in about the $250 mark category, so not a cheap or affordable fragrance, but if the ultimate gourmand is what you are looking for, then this might be exactly what that gives. Now, I love wearing this fragrance at night, especially in the colder months. February is a cold month where I live, and wearing this out with a cozy sweater gives cozy vibes. Now, here's the thing. People talk about Angel Share not lasting. It lasts on me like a beast. On my skin, it can last 10 hours, and on my clothing, I will smell it until I wash my clothes. It just keeps going. So as long as you are moisturizing down and spraying this on both your body and your clothing, you should be able to get this to project and last in the way that you want to. Yeah, Kilian's Angel Share, just a beautiful, stunning fragrance that's worth all the hype it gets. That's everything for me. 10 of my favorite date night Valentine's Day fragrances that are both compliment getting but also make you feel like your most alluring self. They're sexy, they're flirty, they're seductive, they're temptress giving, just all of it in these 10 fragrances that are marked by different notes, but all just make me feel the most confident, and I hope they do the same thing for you. So I hope this video was helpful to you and there's something here that screams your name. That's it. That's all for me. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I really appreciate you checking out my video, and I hope you do come back. I have so much more content in the works for you. I want you here. I know you want to be here. You know what it is.